They fired me. Not with a call, not with a conversation, just a cold, silent email. At midnight. The next morning, my login didn't work. No warning, no thank you, just gone. So I made one call to the IRS. And now they're about to learn what real consequences look like. If you've ever worked your heart out just to be tossed aside like trash, if you've ever dreamed of watching karma hit a greedy employer like a freight train, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around, because this is one of the most satisfying takedowns you'll hear today. I wasn't trying to break any rules. I just wanted to survive. Like so many people these days, my full-time job wasn't cutting it. Rent, groceries, gas, it all kept rising, but my paycheck didn't. So when I found a 1099 side gig that brought in an extra $3,000 a month, I jumped on it. And I was good at it. I met every deadline, attended every meeting, never once dropped the ball. One client even went out of their way to send a glowing review to management. I was proud of how I handled both jobs, never mixing the two, never letting one interfere with the other. But apparently, success makes some people uncomfortable. Things started to shift, quietly at first. Suddenly, I was expected to check emails hourly, not just during the day, but even evenings. Then they imposed set working hours on me. As a 1099 contractor, if I stepped away from the desk for any reason, even injury, I had to report it. They wanted me to act like a full-time employee, tied to a desk without offering me any of the rights that come with being one. I pushed back, politely at first. I reminded them that as a 1099 contractor, I had no legal obligation to report hours or follow a rigid schedule. The entire reason I took the role in the first place was for the flexibility. They didn't care. They ignored everything I said, treating me like a disobedient employee rather than the independent contractor they were so quick to label me as. And then came the silence before the storm. It was nearly midnight when I saw the email come through. Subject line: termination of services. No explanation, no phone call, no decency. Just a cold, impersonal message dumped into my inbox when they thought I wouldn't see it until morning. No human conversation, just a corporate brush off, like I was an error in a spreadsheet. I tried logging into my work account the next day. Access denied. My credentials were already revoked. No warning, no thank you, just locked out, like I never existed. I messaged my supervisor. Their reply? Check your personal email, if you even do that. That was it. No follow-up, no clarification, just smug dismissal. And that's when the switch flipped. At first, I sat in silence, stunned, confused, and honestly, kind of broken. I'd worked hard, I played by their rules, I made them money, and they treated me like disposable garbage. But then the confusion turned to something else. Rage. Not the loud, shouting kind. The quiet, focused kind. The kind that settles in your chest and whispers, "Make it right." So, I did. I spent the next 2 days researching 1099 versus W-2 employment. I dug through every IRS guideline I could find, and what I discovered made my blood boil. According to the IRS, an independent contractor controls how and when they work. They're not supposed to have set schedules, mandatory reporting, or be managed like full-time employees. But my role, every box the IRS laid out for a W-2 employee, I checked it. Set hours, constant oversight, required availability, performance reviews. It wasn't a contractor role. It was an employment scam. They were misclassifying workers to dodge taxes and avoid providing insurance or benefits. It wasn't just unfair. It was illegal. And they thought they could get away with it because most people wouldn't know better. But I did. So I submitted a detailed report to the IRS. Names, emails, job descriptions, screenshots, everything. Let me tell you, when you serve up documentation that clear, the IRS doesn't ignore it. I may never hear exactly what happens behind closed doors, but I know what I started, and I bet everything that the audit is already underway. And here's the kicker. They probably thought they were being clever, cutting corners, saving money. But I wasn't the only one. If I was treated like this, then so were others. Dozens of misclassified workers, dozens of IRS violations. That's not just a fine. It's potentially millions in back taxes, penalties, and lawsuits. So while they sat smug behind their corporate walls thinking they'd fired me in silence, they never saw it coming. They thought they silenced me with one midnight email. But what they actually did was wake me up. And now, they're answering to a much bigger boss, one with audit power, the IRS. Their worst nightmare and my sweetest revenge. In the end, this wasn't just about me losing a gig. It was about the countless people who get exploited, underpaid, and thrown away like they don't matter. Sometimes justice isn't loud. Sometimes it starts with one silent report and ends with a company getting exactly what it deserves. If this story fired you up, hit that like button and let me know in the comments. Have you ever been misclassified or taken advantage of at work? And what did you do about it? Don't forget to subscribe for more real revenge stories where karma always finds its target. Because trust me, we're just getting started.